Good morning, everybody. This is Mali Ponpadith again with the SOAR Community Network and newly launched SOAR Community Nebula. As you may or may not know, we just launched this global initiative about a month ago, and we are bringing together conscious leaders from all over to connect, collaborate, teach, and learn so that we can all create more positive impact in the world. And I am doing a series this year to connect with 1,000 community champions, change agents, people in my life and perhaps your life that you want to refer over, who are giving of themselves, not just through their businesses or through the work that they do on a day-to-day, but also with passion projects that they don't really talk about perhaps, right? Because it's in their heart to do. It's what they've been asked to do from a soulful place. And most people will say it was, God-led or divinely led. We want to talk about those things during this interview series because it's a way for us to really bridge what is of this human place and what is of the spiritual place, so we can really create a real strong dialogue around our gifts, our talents, our wisdom, to spread more love and light into the world. And this morning, we have with us Miss Diane, and I am so thrilled to share Diane Haworth with you because she's new to our community and to my life, but I feel like I've known her for many, many lives. So I want to welcome you, Diane. Thank you so much for taking the time and saying yes to being a part of this Nebula initiative.
Oh, I'm delighted and really so appreciative that you and Victor created such a beautiful container for like-minded people to come and share and grow and love together. That's fantastic.
I love that you said love, because the next question is, Miss Diane, what do you do in the world? And and what's love got to do with it?
Yeah. I am really passionate through my coaching, teaching, speaking, writing, to help people understand that inside each of us is that divine wisdom, that love that we're here to live from. And I'm just passionate about helping people connect to that place, live from that place, share that love with each other. And I'm convinced, oh, you can see it just gets me. I'm convinced this is how we change everything on the planet. We connect to that love, we change ourselves, our family, our communities, and the world. It's that important. It's just that important.
Diane, who has in your life, can you share a story or an experience where you've had that love or you've had that support that maybe even it was even unexpected? Who knows? But whatever story comes to mind about something or someone or experience that shifted you forever, changed the course of your life, or perhaps just shifted your thinking in the most profound way.
I'm blessed, as I'm sure many people are, to have lots of experiences. One that comes to mind that really I think has come to fruition now 20 years later is I was going through a very, very difficult divorce. And I had a lady that I knew. We weren't friends. We were in some same organizations. And she offered to help me at this really, really terrible time in my life. And I said, no, okay, I've got it. I so did not have it. I was a mess. I was a mess. And she was pretty persistent about wanting to help me with things. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And she said something to me I'll never forget. She said, Diane, don't you realize sometimes the way you spread love in the world, the way you help others is by allowing them to help you? And it really stopped me in my tracks. And it was the first time I realized, it's not I give love, you receive love. It's a circle. It's circular. It's this expanding energy. And anytime any of us give love, we receive love, and there's more love for everybody on the planet. It really shifted the way I understood how love was given and received. It was just very profound. It really was.
Well, I'm seeing that's what you offer to the world now, right? With your coaching and your commitment to spreading love and to spreading community and to spreading this deep understanding for I see you.
Yeah.
and let me hear you, let me support you. It's really beautiful. When you think of a community builder or a change agent or a champion of change, those terms, what characteristics come to mind, and who might be among those people in your life? If you care to share a particular person, that's fine, or at least the type of person.
Well, I thought a lot about that, and the traits that come to mind is compassion, which I always equate with love in action, a gracious attitude, people who are really non-judgmental. They aren't necessarily thinking of what can I do to put me in the best position. They're just there to serve and serve from their heart. And somebody that I think I met this lady probably over 50 years ago, and she was the mother of a friend of mine. She was so quietly, elegantly, consistently a loving presence for her family, for me, for my all of the kids that were around her, for her church, for any organization she was in. She just was that steadfast presence of love. And she's been dead for many, many years. And still, I always think, what would that person do in this particular situation? How could she be that presence of love for others? She was just really amazing, just amazing.
It's amazing how when you think about what you just said, over 50 years ago, you met this person, they made an imprint in your life that's everlasting. You're still talking about her today. And then you start to really want to emulate these characteristics, right? People who have shifted us, people who impacted us. And we think, wow, they did something for me, right? To me and for me. And then you wonder, well, what am I doing to and for others? And when you talk about her, it was almost like this crazy mirroring effect. I was like, well, that's you. That's kind of how you operate in the world, is that person you described was how I would describe Diane. It's crazy, right? Because we don't know that that's happening, but we start to take on these powerful traits, whether they're good or bad in this case, that's uplifting and positive, and we start to live those things. It's just beautiful. It's powerful. It's worth noting. That's why I said that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. What causes do you most care about in terms of social impact, in terms of your personal impact? And how are you using your gifts, your experiences, your talents, your wisdom to contribute in a meaningful way?
That's shifted throughout the years, I have to say. What I am really passionate about right now is helping people understand this concept of being love, which is exactly what this lady, her name was Mrs. Pearson, it's exactly what she was. She wasn't preaching love. She wasn't giving you a template about love. She simply was that loving, kind, compassionate presence. As you know, you and I have talked offline, there is a movement that I'm working on, and it's called, from what I've called the Be Love Principles. And I am passionate about sharing that. I'm creating a website about the Be Love Principles, where there will be worksheets, interviews, resources that will all be free that people can use, because I found them to be life-changing for myself. I've shared them with clients, with friends. They're just a way to help you go from what we all are, right? We're just human little egos with everyday problems, and we have to pay the mortgage, and we get sick, and our dog makes us crazy, just all those things. How we can go from our human place and bring more of that divine love and presence into the world. So that is absolutely my passion. I'm talking to anybody I can with it. God help you if you are stuck in an elevator with me, more than 3 floors, you got the whole story. I'm talking to people, I'm talking to groups, I'm creating classes. That's my passion, helping people learn how to be love. Or I should say, remember, it's what we are at our core. We don't have to learn it. We have to kind of unlearn the other things. Just go back to that purity, that peace, that freedom, that innocence that we truly are at our core, at our soul level.
So before we go to the next question of a quote or a saying that inspires you, I want to stay with the Be Love principle for a second. Give us a sneak peek of how that looks like practically, right? Be love. It's so big. It's so beautiful. It's so innate. Like that should be, yeah, of course, it's a default, of course, right? That's how we came into the world. But it doesn't always become who we are in moment by moment.
Right.
Because ego, because of life, because things are just sometimes really hard. We're in the midst of trauma.
Yeah.
But what are some practical, tangible ways? You talked about worksheets and workshops, but give us one or two practical steps or action items that help us practice or remember being love.
Well, there are only in this incarnation, there are only 4 principles. The first is greet everyone with an open heart without an agenda. Second is see the divine essence in everyone and everything. The third is forgive quickly, completely, unconditionally. And the fourth is just to remember you are the light of the all. That's how we're all connected. That's how we're all one, is through that light of love. So one of the tips I would say is, I believe that our external world is always a reflection of our internal world. The very first person that you need to greet with an open heart without an agenda is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that starts every morning when you look in the mirror and you don't see this. Don't look for wrinkles. Don't look for anything else you're looking for. How do you look in those pants? That's not what it is. Just ask yourself, how can I be more loving toward that divine being here? How can I greet myself without an agenda, which means without the shoulds in your head, without the I need to be doing this, why didn't I do that at my age, I should. None of that's you. That's your human experience, but it's not you. So the quickest tip is every day, moment by moment, the best you can, love yourself, greet yourself with an open heart, and see yourself as the divine being that you are. When you see yourself as love, you can't help but treat other people that way. And wouldn't that be a difference in our communities, in our politics, and in the way we treat the earth? It just changes everything. It just changes everything.
Yeah. Okay. Talking about changing everything. What philosophy, quote, saying shifts you and empowers you every day to keep going?
There's so many beautiful quotes, and I really encourage everybody. Every day I start with different quotes, right? And I study A Course in Miracles. And one of the tenets of the Course in Miracles is something that I just think is so beautiful. Am I going to choose love or fear today? What am I choosing right now, moment by moment, every day, but moment by moment? Am I going to choose love or am I going to choose fear? And it's just a beautiful way that helps me come back to center. And sometimes it takes me a while to come back to center, by the way, Melly.
Oh, I know.
It's not automatic.
I have to center every day. Every morning I have to do my meditation, my EFT.
Yeah.
I have to have my moments of pause, all those tools that we have access to be grounded, right? To be grounded in this life. So as you were talking, and I want to, just kind of touch upon this, being love is not just the actions as well.
Right.
It's the presence, right?
Yes.
And you talk about loving yourself and looking in the mirror and reminding you of your uniqueness, of your an eternal light that's a part of it all, part of everything. Not everybody has access to people who speak in these terms. And it can be very isolating just to read it in a book, or to hear gurus or experts who study things like mindfulness and meditation. And you're just kind of feeling overwhelmed, right? Because I want to be those things. But, choosing love and fear, the concept is simple. How do I do it? So for those that kind of are going through this very brand new journey of finding this peace, this calm internally, what would you say to them as a be love expert, if you will? What would you say to them?
Well, the first thing I would say is welcome to the club, because we all start in the same place, right? And certainly for me and many people that I've worked with over the years, there's some crisis that brings you here. You are living your life, everything's great, and then it's not so great, and you start to question. The very fact that someone is having thoughts about, wait a minute, there needs to, I just think there's something more. I don't know what this is. I don't know. What is this love thing about? That's just that, to me, that soul self opening the door. For me, meditation is what changed everything, because meditation for me was what stopped all the crazy thoughts in my head and allowed that door to open. So meditation, and anybody can Google meditation and find, like, I don't know how many hundreds, probably thousands of free meditations are on you can find through Google now. The other thing is, I really, really, really believe gratitude is the door to the divine. When your life is so out of sync and nothing seems to be going right, I guarantee you, you can quiet yourself. I have people imagine they're breathing in and out through their heart, takes their consciousness out of their mind, puts it in their heart space, right? And just ask, what do I have here to be grateful for? And I guarantee you there's something. And you can, I'm a big proponent of people having direct divine experiences. So when you're breathing in and out of your heart, and you've got a question, things aren't going right in your life, just say, show me. Just show me. And you can talk to whoever you think you're talking to. God, universe, source, the chipmunk outside your window. I don't care who you think it is. Whatever energy you think is the intelligent, creative, expansive energy that creates the galaxies. That's what you're connecting with. And that's what you're part of. That's what we forget. You're part of that.
That's beautiful. So Diane, can you please let our audience know how they can connect with you, learn more about you, and learn more about the Be Love principles?
Oh, that would be lovely. They can go to my website. It's DianeHaworth.com, and that's DianeHaworth. All my links to social media will be on there. You can see videos about the Be Love principles and learn more about my work. I hope they sign up for my newsletter, and I encourage everybody to step into our role as change agents through love.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much again for being a part of this global initiative, us reaching out and connecting with community change agents, wonderful, brilliant souls out there doing some incredible things. And it's an honor to experience this life with you. I'm learning a lot. And we connected from the start. And I'm really excited to be sharing your work and your principles with the world. So thank you again.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So for all of you tuning in, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this interview with Diane and myself. And if you are interested in learning more about the work that we do at the SOAR Community Network, please visit soarcommunitynetwork.com. And if you are interested in either being interviewed or becoming a Nebula Change Agent member to our online hub, please learn more at nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. We appreciate you. Go out and do great things in the world, and we'll talk with you real soon. Thank you so much, Diane.
Bye-bye.
Till next time.